Today we're here to talk a little bit about Premier Copper Products kitchen faucets, the pull-down faucet and the spring pull-down. I'm going to just demonstrate on the spring pull-down today, but both faucets basically change cartridges the same way. So it'll be fairly simple to demonstrate how to do that if you have to do any maintenance on a faucet. If you're just opening the faucet for the first time, you're going to get instructions on how to install it and then a parts diagram. The faucet comes virtually together. Very simple to assemble. The parts that come in the box, you'll get 2 supply lines, the faucet completely assembled, and then a 7/16 Allen wrench. If you're installing it for the first time, you've got both the hot and cold inputs on the bottom of the faucet indicated by the tags on the bottom of the faucet. To install the faucet, simply unscrew this hand tightening plastic nut. It takes a second to unscrew it because it is a long threaded shaft. And the reason we do that long is so that you can get through a thick piece of granite. If you're going with a double thick piece, then there's plenty of length to get through that. So take a minute to get off. Once it comes off, slide that off. The next 2 pieces are a hard brass washer and then a rubber washer. And then this plastic piece is a stability washer. So once you attach your 2 supply lines there, you'll drill a 1 3/8" hole into your granite. It'll slide down through that hole. The first piece that goes on is your guide, and this keeps the faucet, when you pull on it, gives it a little stability underneath the granite. Then you simply reverse the process, the rubber washer, the brass washer, and then hand tighten your nut against the bottom of the granite. You don't need any tools to install it other than a adjustable wrench to tighten on your supply lines, both at the supply and then onto here. Don't over tighten. Simply, you've got a rubber grommet in here. Just want to tighten it enough to where it's going to seal that grommet. The only thing that could need maintenance, over time, hard water will build up inside of your faucet head. One thing we do recommend is before you hook up your supply lines initially, we suggest that you flush your supplies. And you do that simply by turning them on, maybe into a bowl or a bucket, and flushing out any type of dirt or debris that was inside your lines during construction. Inside of the body of the faucet is a ceramic cartridge that's good for 1,000,000 turns. But if you do have any debris going into that initially, it can shorten the life. We're going to pull that out because that's one of the pieces that, after 10 years of use, you potentially might need to change that. The tools you're going to need for that is some type of adjustable wrench and a flathead screwdriver and a 7/16 Allen key. On the top of this faucet is a little decorative cover. That covers the Allen key. To get that off, I don't recommend you pry with the screwdriver. Put the screwdriver underneath the flange and go from the bottom and pop it out. That allows you to pop that little cover out without scratching anything. If you don't have the original one that came with it, again, it's a 7/16. Most people have them in their toolboxes, but one does come with the faucet. Stick that in, make a couple turns, and unscrew, and then you can pop off. I didn't unscrew it enough. Okay, one little more turn, and that'll come off. That takes your handle off. From there, you've got another decorative cover that's hand tightened on there. Just unscrew that. And that'll expose a brass cover and your cartridge. From there, you can take an adjustable wrench and simply untighten it. They're not very tight. You never want to over tighten anything in plumbing. You can unscrew it by hand after simply loosening it, and then you've got your cartridge inside. If you haven't seen a ceramic cartridge, pretty great invention. There's 3 inputs. You've got your hot line and your cold line, and as you adjust and turn, that allows more volume, and then it also mixes the hot and cold, and the mix comes out of the bottom and out and through your faucet. So this cartridge has 2 ceramic cartridges inside that come together. If debris gets in there or build up over time, that's when you start to get a leak. This is covered in your warranty, and we do stock them here. So if you ever have a problem, simply give us a call at Premier. I'm gonna go through how to reassemble this, but that's literally all there is to a kitchen faucet. This is a solid brass faucet. Everything you see here is brass. There's 2 male knobs. It takes a little bit to find them, but you'll know when you do because it sits flush and you're not able to turn it. That means you're guided properly. Then simply take your brass nut, hand tighten it till it's tight, and then take your adjustable wrench or your channel locks and tighten it down. And it doesn't have to be super tight. You don't have to crush the cartridge, just enough to compress that grommet that's on the bottom of the cartridge. So make sure it moves properly, everything's in there correct. Then you're gonna take your decorative cover. We're gonna find the threads here and then hand tighten it back down till it's tight. From there, you can see the little Allen screw that compresses down. All that does is compress down on there. Make sure your handle goes up towards the faucet. Take your 7/16 Allen key, turn it in, and again, just tighten enough to where it's on there and make sure the handle moves properly and smoothly. From there, it's very simple. To cover that hole, it's got that compression fitting we talked about. Just pop that in, push it in by hand. I'm gonna go over one more time how to take that off in a close-up scenario. You don't wanna pry this because then you'll scratch your finish. So you wanna come underneath here, find the bottom of it, and pop it out that way. And that way you ensure, you ensure that you don't scratch your faucet. Simply pop that back in and you're good to go.